Recently, I've been getting a lot of comments where people will ask me, how do you make your videos? And honestly, it's a whole process, and it's something that I was not really good at the start, but over the course of years of practice and getting to where I am now, I have this formula going, and I really like the format of my videos. So I think it would be really educational and just in general cool to kind of show the process of what I've been doing for these videos, because I don't think it's really being done by anybody else on YouTube, at least not to my knowledge. So I think it's just gonna be kind of cool to show you guys. So without further ado, I'm just gonna go down the basics of how I get started on making my videos. Okay, first things first, basic YouTuber stuff. Like everyone else, there's a free program you can get called Audacity. If you ever tried to make a video in your life, you probably have heard of it. It's free software, and guess what? It works really well. Now, obviously, what most people would recommend, I do have Adobe Audition, and Audition is definitely recommended for post-processing on your audio. And you can even record audio in it as well. But I don't know, personally, I've just gotten so used to Audacity, and it's nice to look at. So I kind of stick with it, record my videos. I mean, I'm recording the one that I'm making right now on it, as you can see. And after I finish recording, I just kind of take the audio, clean it up, and then I throw it in Audition and add some EQ and stuff like that, noise reduction, whatnot. And that's when I get my whole commentary track. Now, the commentary track is just the base level of starting when I start editing. So as you know, my videos are scripted for the most part, and this one obviously is not. But when I do the scripts, and get the audio from Dahlia for the ship, what I have to do is I then take her audio and my audio and I splice it together, and I kind of make it its own audio track that kind of meshes well and works better that way. I have a version of it. This video is not out yet, or at least hopefully it's out by the time you see this, just to show you an idea of what that looks like when I do the audio. So this one's pretty basic. She didn't have very many lines for this, but as you can see, I'm very much just cutting all the ums, the ahs, and all that stuff out of these gaps here. And pretty much whenever she has a bit, I'll, just have her play her dialogue, so you can take a listen here. Face, it's crazy.
Uh-huh. You read some weird shit.
Now, with her stuff specifically, there's actually a built-in plugin for Vegas that I use. It's Noise Gate, EQ, compressor, and that's how I kind of get her, I guess, robotic voice going. So that was actually something I just kind of threw together, and magically I just really liked it, so I kind of stuck with the same setup for it. So this is basically what a finished audio track would look like. Like, I would have all this laid out, and this would be, okay, this is the finalized audio. So then I would render this out as a wave file, or .wav, whatever you want to call it. And after that, then I would plop it in to a track that would look similar to this, although this is finished. This is the Attack on Titan 1 year later video that I just made recently. So here's the general process. These parts right here, we see all this purple and the blues on top. These are where my stills are, and I have a bit of OCD when editing, so I try my best to knock everything out step by step. So what I would do is I would listen through the entire recording. So this 20-minute video that I did, I had to listen through the entire recording multiple times, and every time I felt like, I think a still should be here, or I'm thinking this expression should be here, I would go into this folder that I have right here. And in this folder, I have well over 100 of these little guys, right? And you might be asking yourself, how do you have all of these drawings? I mean, look at it. Just look at it. It's quite insane, right? Well, obviously, I don't draw them myself. That would be thanks to the very talented imaginative artist. I'll go ahead and link her down below if you want to check her out. She did me, the pleasure of drawing these stills, and essentially I kind of took what she made and made my own sort of template for it. So I'm going to show you. Okay. So as you guys can see right here, this is Photoshop, and essentially what I have here is the background just as is. And if you notice, the window is like semi-transparent. I don't know if you could see this in the video. I could try to zoom in. I don't know if that, like, yeah, you can see it there. So essentially what I do here, that's how I get the stars moving in the background. It's very subtle. So when I go back to here, that's what this purple file is here, the moving space. It's just a space background. So like if I move this the other way, you see, you break the illusion. So that's basically how I get the stars moving in the background there. Very simple editing trick. But anyway, with this here, so I have the background just as is. And what I've done is every single pose that she's ever drawn for me, I have individually as a layer. So keep in mind, every single time she would draw one of these for me, they would look something like this, right? It would be automatically complete. It would only be one layer, or sorry, 2 layers. It'd be the background layer and then the actual whole drawing. So me being the stubborn person that I am, I decided, it would be cool if I could just have, like, because commissioning, I love my artists, but if I want, just this one little splice design of, like, I want this face, but with this expression, like, it would be annoying to ask her to draw that every single time, right? So what I did was I took every single drawing and pose that I had her draw, and I made them their own layer. So as you can see here, there's this pose, there's this pose. Now I probably should name them just to make it even more organized, but I've been kind of lazy with that. But as you can see, these are just the character with no face. Well, why is there no face? Well, if I go into elements here, you can see I have in the bottom right hand corner here, these are small elements that were a part of other drawings that she did, like blushing, sweat, this little, angered symbol or mark, whatever you want to call it. And then in here I have my mouths. So this is every single mouth for every single drawing she's done. And also I have all the faces. And so now what I can do is I could literally just go into this folder. Let's say I want cringe face. Yeah, I like cringe face. So I can just drag that out here. Let's say pose 21. Why not? Yeah, let's give him a cringe face. And I literally just align it up like that. Then I just kind of erase around here, make it look clean. And there we go. Look at that. And then obviously with the mouths, I would just do the same thing. Screw it. Let's give him a burp. Let's have him burp. The Rick and Morty burping mouth. I accidentally just plopped that in faces. There you go. So now he's burping while reading a book. Would you look at that? Now, obviously this isn't perfect. So I would do like the little touch-ups. Like I would rotate this maybe a little bit. Move that there. And then since he's using the book still, what I do is I then go and grab whatever manga or book I'm talking about. And then I take the image and then I kind of stretch it out to fit the dimensions and put it there. So if you're wondering how does that work, that's how that works. So essentially I have unlimited potential. And now you see why I have over 100+ drawings of all these faces and stuff for each still. And it's a lot of work. It's definitely a lot of work. I don't want to underestimate it. Like, every single time I have this, idea of like, oh, I want him to be angry, but I want him to do this. Every single time that happens, I go in here and I stitch it together myself and then I plop it in here. So fundamentally, like at a base level, this is essentially animating, but not really. It's just animating if you're only animating keyframes. So I don't want to, make it sound like, oh yeah, I'm an animator. Nah, I wouldn't say that. But as you can see, like sometimes I like to get a little quick with them. Like I like, these here, you see how his eyes kind of roll. So it's kind of like animation. I like having fun with it and stuff like that. Like it literally looks like he's talking. So yeah, that is the general process of how I get the stills. And as you can see by how many of these little blue blocks there are, there's a lot that needs to be done. Every single video, there's a lot. It's always like this. This is kind of the process that I've kind of come to here with videos and stuff. And yeah, honestly, it's intimidating at first, but if you're starting out, like you kind of just get your own groove going and you just learn something as you go. With every single video that I make, there's always a bit of a learning curve to something. Like there will be some new trick, some new thing that I get an idea for and that I teach myself how to do. So it's really not going to come to you all at once. You kind of just have to practice and grind at it really hard, and eventually you're just going to pick up some editing techniques and you're just going to be really good at it. I mean, I'm self-taught. I didn't, take any editing classes or anything like that to learn how to do any of this stuff. It's literally problem solving. Like if there's something that you want to do, you literally hit up Google, hit up YouTube, and just be like, how do I do this in this software? And if you're wondering what the name of the software is, it's Sony Vegas Pro 17. No, sorry, 18. Obviously for clips. You know, you can get those really anywhere, and you just kind of fill in the blanks. So like literally once I get the stills done, a lot of the video is pretty easy from there. It's literally me just filling in the blanks. Now obviously you got to avoid copyright, so you got to make sure to be very conservative with your footage. You can't just, you know, throw in a whole 2-minute clip in your feed. So you got to be really careful with that. And then these tracks here at the bottom, these are the music. I have a really keen ear for this sort of thing. I don't know if anyone notices. I try to use music that reflects what I'm talking about. So obviously in this video being Attack on Titan based, I decided, you know, what's more fitting than Attack on Titan music. Now, as you can see, I don't just kind of plop anything down and at any place. I try to make sure the music kind of flows with the vibe of the video itself. I think that's really important. Like if I'm talking about something and then I start to raise my voice and get really passionate in a part of the video, I think it's best to then switch up the music and then have it, you know, kick into high gear. A video that I think I did really well in that regard was the Beastars video. If you go back and watch that video and really pay attention to the music, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It really sticks out when you're looking for it. And I think that really sells a video, especially one like that where it's like a collab and I'm talking to someone. So yeah, I like doing that too. Honestly, the video editing part is the most fun to me. Once I have everything, you know, kind of here, this timeline is like my canvas, and I just go to work, and you know, whatever comes out, I end up super proud of. So I got a lot of compliments on this video, which I'm very happy about for the AMV section. Now, I worked really hard on this part. I actually did all the Foley for the music video part. Now, if you don't know what Foley is, it's essentially people do in Hollywood if they're like work on a film or a TV show, where essentially they just take the sound effects, they isolate those prior to any music or anything like that. So what's really cool, I just want to show this off because I think it's just really cool to see. So if I mute this track here, this is the music track, and then I just strictly play from here, because this is all like the music's a part of this clip. But if I play from here, this is when I started, like, this is all me here. So what I did was I went in, I got, you know, different sound effects for this and that. So it's gonna totally lose its oomph that it had in that video, but it's just cool to see, because I like doing this stuff. I don't know, I'm a nerd for this audio editing stuff. It's really fun to me. So I'll go ahead and play this for you.
His name is Aaron Yeager.
So yeah, that's how I did that. And that's a very easy thing to do. Honestly, you literally just, there's this YouTube or audio story blocks, whatever. Like, you can go to these websites and you can just get sounds of anything. Like, literally, this Attack on Titan transformation sound, that's on YouTube. I mean, you just look that up. The bridge ASMR I used for the rumbling, because I had no idea what the rumbling sound, or at least what Aaron in his founding Titan form sounds like when it's moving. So I just got audio of a car literally driving on a bridge, on like asphalt on a bridge or whatever, and that's what that noise is. And you know, to me it kind of fit, and it really is hidden under the music. You know, you're not really distracted by it or thinking too much about it, so it really works. Even this little part where I have like a girl crying sound effect for Ymir crying, it's very subtle. Like, I don't even think you can really hear it, but just knowing that it's there for me, I don't know, it just kind of hits different for me. I don't know, like, that's the editing nerd in me really speaking there. And then I like what I did here with the knife cut mixed with the fire swoosh or whoosh noise. And then I have like the embers of the flame getting like progressively more intense as the clip goes on. Very nice. So that's pretty much how I do these sections. This is the first time I really really went crazy for one. So I definitely want to do more stuff like this in the future. I don't know when I'll do something else like this, but if you remember my Sarah for the End video, I did something very similar with that. That's pretty much it for this video. I just kind of wanted to show you guys a basic rundown of how I do what I do, and hopefully this answers a lot of your questions. And if you have any more questions, then, you know, just feel free to shoot in the comments. I'm very willing to, you know, help people out if they want to know something else or anything like that. But yeah, hopefully this video is informative. I'm not sure how many people will watch this or who will care. I'll try to make it, the editing, as interesting as possible. But for those of you that did watch this, I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for the support, and I will see you all in the next one.
You left your mark. Yeah, you were here.